I had a conversation with an acquaintance today, and after we got sort of through some of the pleasantries, I asked him about this dream that he has. He says, Sven, it's fucked up. You know, he's got this big vision of what he wants to do next in his life. He said, Sven, it's just so fucked up. I can't get going, or I get going, but I can't sustain the effort. And I was poking around, and I said, so what ultimately is it that you're afraid of? He says, I'm just afraid of the unknown. And I laughed. I said, you're not afraid of the unknown. He said, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, you're not afraid of the unknown. The unknown is part of any dream, but you're still excited, and you'll conquer the unknowns as you go. But if there's something that keeps you from taking action, or that causes you to not be able to sustain the action, it's bigger than just fear of the unknown. He said, well, what is it then? I said, it's the fear of the known. He says, what the fuck does that mean? I said, it's the fear of the known, that if you put your real vision out there, you're terrified because you know exactly what your brother will say, or you know exactly what your mother will say, or exactly what your buddies will say. And you're terrified of that response. Or you're terrified that if you don't succeed, you are terrified of what people will say. And so one of the questions I asked him, I said, in one sentence or less, if you were to fail, what is the one sentence you most fear someone saying to you? Or what is the one sentence you most fear people thinking of you if you didn't succeed? You don't fear failure, you fear that fucking sentence. He's like, fuck, man. Sven, what I fear is people thinking I'm a fucking imposter, that I'm a fucking fraud. I said, okay. So the one sentence is, he's a fraud, or he's a fucking, he's a fake, or he's a loser, or whatever. He says, yeah. I said, so then let me ask you this question. Who is the one person it would be most painful to hear that sentence from, or the one person it would be most painful to know that they are thinking that about you? And he named it. I think he said it was his mother. I said, your mother owns you. Whoever that person is, whatever that sentence is, that is one of the greatest fears of your life, if not the greatest. And that is what is keeping you from taking that action. And whoever the person is that would hurt the most to hear it from, that person fucking owns you. So what's the sentence you fear, and who is the person you most fear thinking it? Identify that, and you've just unlocked the key to why you think you're afraid of failure, or why you think you're afraid of the unknown. You're not afraid of the known. You're afraid of the known. You know exactly what they'll fucking say, and you're terrified. Have a kick-ass day.